Big open tailwaters demand perfect cast and perfect presentations to be successful. On top of graduate level trout, complex currents, and the necessity for long cast, oftentimes these rivers, especially in the west, make these demands with a stout wind blowing in your face. A light, fast action 4-weight is the more effective fishing tool. The new IMX Pro 486-4 was designed with these very conditions in mind. When we designed this rod, we did so under the influence of some of the greatest tailwater guides in the country. In the end, they wanted a rod that was light in hand, was extremely accurate, had enough power to turn over a long leader in a stiff breeze, yet still was forgiving enough to fish 6X and tiny flies. Our chief engineer and world casting champion, Steve Rajeff, delivered the goods once again. The IMX Pro 486 offers the ideal blend of power and finesse. It's perfect for technical dry fly fishing on big open rivers. The entire IMX Pro lineup utilizes conduit core technology, which makes them exceptionally durable while keeping the swing weight right where it needs to be. The 8.5-foot 4-weight features a custom up-locking reel seat with a wood insert, a micro full wells grip, custom guides, and comes in a Cordura rod tube for storage and transportation. Having the right rod for technical dry fly fishing only gets you so far. You also need to consider your leader length and size and have a stealthy approach to be successful. For most tricky dry fly situations, a 12-foot leader is a good place to start. If the trout are exceptionally wary, especially in shallow water, 13 or even 14 feet may be necessary to get the rise. It also pays to use a long tippet section, around 3 to 4 feet when fishing tricky current seams. This longer tippet will help you get a long, drag-free drift even when the weeds below the surface create tricky current seams. A good starting point on many tailwaters is to start with a 9-foot 4X leader and add 3 to 4 feet of 5X as your tippet. You may need to adjust your tippet size up or down depending on the size of the fly and the attitude of the fish. Finally, it pays to approach rising trout with a plan. Oftentimes, anglers see a pod of risers and make random shots into them, just hoping to get one of them to eat their fly. While this approach sometimes works, it usually limits the number of fish you could potentially catch. A better approach is to slow down, make controlled casts, and work the fish sitting in the deepest water near the back of the pod first. That way, when you hook a fish, you can quickly turn your rod into the current and move it away from the rest of the pack. Ideally, you do this without spooking the upstream fish sitting closer to the bank. If you do it right, you can spend hours fishing the same pod of fish instead of hours looking for new fish. This slow, calculated approach, coupled with the right leader and the right rod, is the path to dry fly success when fishing pods of risers on technical tailwaters. For more tips and tricks like this, and to learn more about the entire lineup of IMX Pro rods from G. Loomis, visit tridentflyfishing.com.